Good morning, Chester. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at um, this weather that's going on today, but I'm also testing out my live stream, my multi-chat and everything else. and everything is working smooth today. So as you can see, these little black dots, these are the storm reports that we had yesterday that came through. I did see some pictures on Facebook around Mount Zion. Let me see where that's down here, around Decatur, of some houses that were damaged. Of course, the only report that we got there is multiple tree snap, possible tornado. But I did see some pictures of some houses that were damaged. Also in Decatur, just east of downtown Decatur, wind damage reports. So that's what we had around there. If we get around southeast of Taylorville, northwest of Pana, we also had trees down by the winds. I didn't get any wind reports in Illinois, I don't think. But if we get up here near Peoria, we'll just take a look at some of these storm reports that we have from yesterday's storm. Power lines down right there, and we have right in Pekin, we've got also power lines down. And if we get near Groveland, see what we got there. So it looks like a lot of power lines are down in that area. Barn was destroyed, possible tornado in Groveland, Illinois. And see, we got another one here. And several power poles snapped due to the winds. So probably possible tornadoes in that area. Trying to check right here. Power outage. So they did have some power outages also. And that was around Groveland and around Bloomington. If we get up near Fairbury in Illinois, we also had power poles down. A farm outbuilding also had a roof torn off and siding damage. Several large trees down and poles are across the north side of Forest, Illinois. I thought they had one part of a school. A lot of power poles down. Right here, shed torn off its foundation. Swing set twisted and demolished. Poor kids. Multiple poles down in Livingston County, Forest, Illinois. Still Forest, Illinois. So they had a lot of damage right there. We get around Gibson City. We're looking at large sections of roof blown off a farm office building there in Gibson. So we did have some damages. If we get down here to Mount Vernon, that's the one's closest, I think, to Chester as far as damage reports. Man, I'm losing my voice because this weather's got me down pretty good. The roof of a pole barn was blown off onto a neighbor's house. That house also had 2x4s through its roof right there in Mount Vernon. And if we get down to southern Illinois and around Polk County, around Big Bay, trees down. So most of you guys know, I've heard the winds outside. Let me adjust my camera real quick. There, get it centered. We had some pretty good winds kicking off. It looked like we had I call a leaf tornado in my backyard because I didn't get my leaves up in time. But also in Kentucky, if I can get to it real quick. House had a portion of its roof removed in Kentucky. Right around Paducah, a tree was blown down across the road near Chester Hack Drive. and right there in that area. Now, if you can look right here in the Indiana, southern Indiana, there was a ton of storm reports. We'll just take a look at one. Large tree down. We get up here around Cincinnati, trees down. So we had a lot of trees down in Indiana.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
And Illinois, and just a little bit in Kentucky. The southwest corner of Kentucky and the northern part of a couple places in Kentucky, around Louisville area. There's a lot of storm reports there, a lot of trees and power lines down. So that's what happened yesterday. We had that cold front come through and just blew everything going east. And it was a line that went from, I believe, around Austin, Texas, I believe, or Dallas. And that line of storms went all the way across Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and into Fort Wayne, and then moved across. If we look over here, I would probably say this is remnants. Let me get off my winter radar. Get the reflectivity. This probably is that line right there. Very light rain in that area. Right now, what we got is current weather, and basically you just seen what happened yesterday as far as that. So as far as current weather, let's take a look. In Minneapolis, you guys are under a winter weather advisory. We got blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories in Iowa, Wisconsin, winter weather advisories. And if you get in here, winter storm warnings in Michigan. And I'll show you a couple of storm chasers that are out there. We got blizzard warnings in northern Michigan, around Marquette, I believe. I believe that's where they're at. Let me check out right quick. Video's not loading. That was Aaron Rigsby. Let's try another one. We got 3 storm chasers out there. There, you guys see the blizzard warning. You can see the visibility. Let me click it full screen. That is what's going on in Marquette right now in northern Michigan. We do have another storm chaser out there. I believe we got Connor Croft, and that's what it looks like. But we do have blizzard warnings in areas, and you can see from the last person we looked at, Tornado Pagey, that's what it looks like up in northern Michigan. That is all we got as far as the storm chasers that are going on. We do have some, we might have one right down here. I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's in Three Rivers, Michigan. There he is. So that's what's going on in Three Rivers, Michigan. Right now, got some snow kicking off.
Pretty heavy snow.
And like I said, heavy
Here
snow.
in Three Rivers, Michigan.
So I'm going to get off that. And that's Three Rivers, Michigan area. We do have some stationary cameras, and that's what's going on. That's Kalamazoo. And we do have one storm chaser, but he's not live right now. We do have Vince Velotti up and around Chicago, and I don't know where he's going. But it looks pretty decent out there, not a lot of storms. So we get over here in around Pontiac. That's where most of my family is, around Ann Arbor, Keego Harbor, and Pontiac. Hello to my family up there. That's where a majority of my family is at. See what they got as far as weather statements. Areas of heavy snow was along the line extending from near Hadley to near Grand Blanc to Bancroft and moving east at 30 miles an hour. So heavy snow with winds up to 40 mile an hour, reducing visibility. Same thing. Okay, so that's what we got up there. So we have, let me get that weather statement off. There we go. Other than that, right there in the northwest corner, we have lake effect snow warnings going on right now. Um, I'm going to check real quick, see if I got any cameras up in that area. I'm going to get off pivotal weather because we're not using that right now. So let me check real quick to see if, even if I have cameras up there in Pennsylvania, and it doesn't look, oh, I do. So North Pennsylvania, let's go ahead and click on that and see if I can't get something on there. As far as, let me get off of this. Let's see if I can get some cameras up and around that area. And I don't know if that's live. Trying to get this where it's a little bit. Oh, I do have some rain. I'm unfamiliar exactly with this particular map. As far as our live cameras, I am going to go to another one. Let's see if I can't get that up real quick. Sometimes this other app that I have is a little bit better. Yes, so this one here tells me when they're live. Let's see if that'll pop up, and we will expand that one and see if I can't get that up there. So this is what's going on in and around Pennsylvania. Like I said, I've got this other app that has a little red dot on the camera when it's a live cam. So that's what's going on in Pennsylvania. Let me see if I can't find something else. That's alive in that area. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where. That's Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo. Just a small, yeah, that'd be Buffalo. It looks like Buffalo and Cleveland. If we get around Buffalo real quick, and I don't know if I have anything live up and around Buffalo. We do have some up in Buffalo, around Buffalo, a lot. So let's just take a look at one real quick. That one is not live. I don't see a whole lot as far as snow in Buffalo. Looks like a lot of rain. I'm trying to look here on my radar. So maybe if I go south of Buffalo, as far as your lake effect snow, get on down here. Well, that camera's covered in snow. Let's take another look. And there we go. So that's what's going on as far as your lake effect snow, and that's just starting up in Buffalo. New York. And that right there is I-90 eastbound around exit 57 up in Buffalo, New York. So that's what we got going on as far as the weather. And I want to test out some of these traffic cams that I have. And I've got basically there's about 26 states that have actually live traffic cams. And then on top of that, I've got the live storm chasers that I look at as far as active weather. Like I showed you earlier, this is what's going on around Marquette, Michigan. They've been up and around that area for a while, Tornado Pagey and I believe Connor Croft. And if you can click on that. So that's what it looks like. As far as that's concerned, let's go ahead and get out of that. So that's what's going on up and around Detroit, Pennsylvania. If we get over here into the northeast and around Maine, you do have some snow and a little bit of a mix right there in Maine. So you have a little bit of a mix around
Attention,
Farmington
a new
and,
special weather statement has been issued.
I ain't going to try to pronounce that, Skowhegan area in Maine. So you got a little bit of a mixed precipitation, then it changes over to snow when you get into the northeast part of the state. Nova Scotia, again, right there, snow bands, and a little bit of a mix in and around Montreal, Canada. But we do have a lot of rain. Let's get to our regular radar reflectivity. So we do have some showers other than that in and around the New York area. I also wanted to let you guys know that they did have wind reports also 70 mile an hour in I believe that was Indianapolis, Indiana, and right around Spencer, Indiana. He had 60 mile, I believe that was 60. Yeah, 60 mile an hour wind reports. Trying to think if there was any other wind reports out there. So we did have a couple of wind reports of up to 70 mile an hour, and we only had one, I believe, hail report with a 1 inch in Congerville, Illinois, or Congerville, Illinois, in Woodford County. One hail report was in the last 24 hours. So looking elsewhere, we do have little bands of showers in the Georgia and Carolina area. Doesn't look like anything that's heavy that I can see. We do have some storms. Let me go ahead and get to my single set radar and we'll be able to fine tune this. And there you go. So we have a little line of storms right there in Georgia. If we get into the Carolinas and into North Carolina, we do have some showers. My daughter and son-in-law are around Asheville. It's looking pretty clear over there. So they're probably going to have a good, nice day. Probably a little chilly. So if you guys woke up this morning and we had temperatures about 71 or 72 yesterday early, and you woke up this morning, it was about 40 to 50 degrees cooler. So we'll probably have a lot of people that are going to be sick after all this. And I think we're going to have another round around the 12th or the 13th. It's going to be similar to what we've had. I don't think we're going to get as high as in the temperatures, probably around 50s or 60s. But then we're going to have a cool front come in, I think, around the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And I'll show you that here on Pivotal Weather real quick. Let me get off of here, get them off. So other than that, if you get around Shreveport, El Dorado, Arkansas, and Longview, Texas, you guys are under I guess it would be wind, 10 to 20 mile an hour, high gust of 20 to 35. And what it is you got some dry conditions over there for wildfires. So if you're in there, be careful when you're burning in those areas. Get to my regular reflectivity. So this is what we got going on in Big Springs and Odessa. You got some rain showers, and you got actually a blizzard warning from 3 to 6 inches. Going through the Guadalupe Pass can be dangerous. So it's probably up in the mountain areas, as you can see. There's a little bit of mountainous area right there going on. So you got blizzard warnings there. In New Mexico, you do have some rain. And you got winter weather advisories all around Roswell, going into Texas and your mountainous areas. Other than that, let's take a look at what is going on. As far as Oregon and Washington, you're looking pretty good. Last week you've had quite a bit of rain, a lot of landslides in the Cascades, all the way down into California. So you got a frost advisory in and around Sacramento area, all the way down to Modesto. And that's a look at what's currently going on in Chester. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up Pivotal Weather. And I'm going to switch screens real quick. And this is another thing. So yeah, I'm live. I got my multi-chat up, and I'm going to go ahead and get here. Jay Morris, it is cold outside, Billy. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at it. Yes, you were in shorts yesterday, and now you're in sweatpants. Big dip in the cold front. And that's what we got. But I do. Good morning, cuz. I see you, Dana. Wow, I actually can see it. So I'm glad you guys are posting this. Dana, I know you posted it about 5-7 minutes ago. Jay, I'm still getting used to having the chat pop up on my screen, and I was looking at another radar. But yes, I do see you guys. So let's take a look at Pivotal Weather. And right now, this is what you see. All this blue and snow that's going on in around Michigan area and in this northeast with the mix. So we're going to go ahead and move it forward, and we're going to see a similar situation that we had around, let me get it down here. We're looking pretty good, but if we get around right there, and I'm going to try to get it close to Illinois, but you see right there, let me get my draw tool out. It's going to warm up a little bit. You're going to have this rain, but then you're going to have this cold front right behind it. So we're going to go through that. It's hot one day and it's cool, really cold the next day. I don't think it's going to be near as bad as it was yesterday into today, but a similar situation where we have these thunderstorms pop up, and you can see right there. And then right behind it, we just got that cold air. If we look at the temperature map, let's go ahead to that AGL temperature. And I'm going to get around Chester real quick. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that as an orange to get a good color for you. Okay. So we're right there. And look at these temperatures as we go in through the week. Let's get back to where we are at now. So you can see it's cool. We got the cool temperatures moving. We're staying in the 20s. Then we're getting up a little bit, going back down. We might have had a little bit of a 40s right there around the 31st. 40s. And maybe around 42. 39. Where's that temperature going to rise? So right there, I believe, is the 4th. And you can see where the temperatures are going up. Around 40. Then we're getting around 52, 47. That's around the 5th. And then it kind of stays, and then it gets a little bit cooler. And then we have this big temperature, and that's right there is where you can see these temperatures up and around 15, 16. And that is actually what, if I get to the precipitation type, if I can get to it. And I'm going to try to switch back and forth. Let me go ahead and get that to where we got right there. That's around the 12th. And I'm going to go ahead and get to the temperature. See if that comes up in the same area. So this is what you see. You see all these this cold mass right here, and we got the warmer temperatures on this side. And that's basically kind of the setup that we had yesterday, except for it was 72, and then we got down into the 20. So it's about almost a 40 to 50 degree drop. And so that's what we are looking at as far as pivotal weather and what's going on. We could get to your upper level stream here and load that up, and let me get the draw tool and erase that. So right now you see that low right up there in above Michigan area, just going through. That's the weather that you got going on right now with the snow and the blizzard conditions. We do have another low that's coming through, kind of disappears. And then let's see if I can get around 11. Right there. This is going to be that low spin. I would say advective. And what I mean by advective is that low that's sitting right. Let me get off my draw tool. Or I can go on it. That low is sitting right there, but what's bringing up that moisture that's going this way is it has to have, what would you call it, place where moisture comes from, which is the ocean. And this is what's bringing this up, and I'll have to go to, let me erase that, and go to a bright yellow. Let's try it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. So let me erase. So we got this low sitting right there, and it's got this source of moisture coming in from the Gulf, the Gulf coming in. And that's what's going to bring around, I believe, the 11th or the 12th into the 13th. That's what's going to bring in those rain showers and storms that we will have around that time. And this is just, I would guess say a prediction of what's going to happen, a possibility. Where it can shift, we don't know. But that is all I got as far as pivotal weather. And let me get to my radar omega scene and get off of this and erase that and get my draw tool off. So this is what we got going on. Thank you guys for watching. Jay, thanks. I believe my son-in-law was also watching, or I believe he was. And so you got to see some of the cameras that I had and what's going on. And you also got to see that I've got access to traffic cams up in around New York. Like I said, not all states have live traffic cams. They have still that probably updates every 5 minutes. So I hope you guys were able to hear me a lot clearly. I'm using my wireless Rode mic. And so I'm thinking this will be a little bit better when I do the live storm chasers. I'll probably turn the volume down.
Attention, a new special event has been issued.
So I hope you're able to hear me just a little bit better and a little bit more clear. But other than that, they say these Rode mics that I have, and it's wireless. You've seen them on YouTube. You've seen them on Reels, I believe Snapchat Reels or whatever you guys go on. And then you can either use it without the lapel pin or not. I like the lapel pin because I don't want to hold that mic in my hand. I guess my webcam mic also worked well. I might want to get a dynamic one that will sit on my desk. That way I don't have to do this wireless one. But they say these Rode wireless ones can last up to 8 hours. So on a charge. And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to end this live stream. And really quick, this is what's going on around Wisconsin, Michigan, and into the Northeast. I'll go ahead and pop up the winter weather map, and that's what we got. So thank you guys for joining me. Really quick, and I'm going to go ahead and get to, no, I got it right here. Okay, so we got temperature right now is at 19. It feels like it's 7. So definitely a temperature drop. And you got winds at 25 miles an hour. That's what's bringing in those wind chills of 7. I know I put my heat on last night, and I wish I could have closed my doggy door, but that dog was bringing in some cold air in our little family room. So, Dana, you have a good rest of your week. Jay, and anybody else that's watching. So if you guys do text or something like that on Facebook chat or on YouTube, I'm able to get it popped up on the screen now, which is kind of a lot easier for me to converse. I won't type back, but I'll be able to give you a verbal shout out. So other than that, it also has a little bell. I should have put that on, and this is something that's new to me. So anytime the chat comes up, it should hit a little bell and let me know, hey, somebody just said something. So I apologize for getting to comment to you guys a little bit late. I've got to remember to put on that little beep. So this has got all kinds of things that you can do. Hide messages that contains emojis. All kinds of things. You can set this up. So, guys, to let you know what my setup is real quick, I have Radar Omega. I have the paid version, the best version that they have. I've got a paid version monthly on that one. I have Pivotal Weather, the paid version, and that's where I get my mid-level flows, my helicity, and all that stuff that I use as far
Attention, a new special event has been issued.
The precipitation types. And I'll just go ahead and show you real quick a little bit about Pivotal Weather. And I've got to pop it up real quick. Give me a second. There we go. So this is Pivotal Weather. Here, I can search different parameters on the upper air height, wind, and temperature. That's what you can see, the jet stream, and where the lows and the highs are. And then I can get into the surface and precipitation. I can get the temperature, wind gust, winds, dew points, all that, quantitative precipitation, Anything from upper air moisture, upper air dynamics, severe weather, and winter weather, I can get all of that on Pivotal Weather. So there are certain things that I use Pivotal Weather for, and then there's certain things that I use Radar Omega for. I use Radar Omega for naturally for the radar, and I use the College of DuPage as far as the satellites, and I don't think I have that one set up. I'm looking. Yes, I do. So if I get on here, and I'm going to close this out, and I am going to close out my traffic cams. So I got traffic cams. There's a site I go for that. I have all of the states individual, but then I've got one that I can just scroll across the United States, and it'll show me which ones are live and which ones are not live. So if I go to College of DuPage, and I'm going to get on that, if it can pop up. There we go. And so if I wanted to look at satellite, this is what I'm going to look at. And here I can go to regional sectors. That's basically what I'll do. If I'm looking for tornadoes, I'm looking for clouds, this is what I'm going to go to. Let's see what kind of visible blue. Here's, I don't know if it's because it's still early that we've got, we just got a whole shortwave IR. Trying to find the best one. Long wave IR, ozone. So probably because of it being so dark out there in the morning where the sun's at. Anyways, this is what I'll use. I can even get to sub-regional sectors. Usually when I'm looking at tornadoes up and around this area, this is what I'm going to be looking at. And you can see it's probably because of this where the sun's at and going across the United States. But usually around 6 o'clock, that's when a lot of tornadoes are happening. This is what I'll use as far as looking for plumes and stuff like that. So that is the College of DuPage radar, and I'll go ahead and get back to Radar Omega and get off of that. So yeah, I have a whole lot of things that I use on here. I use Social Stream Media or Ninja for my multi-chat, and I use Touch Portal. And I don't know if you can see that. I can change scenes just like this, and if I go to 7-day forecast, and you're gonna see me push it, it goes to 7-day forecast. If I want Radar Omega, push that, switches scenes, all from my phone. It makes it easier. Instead of me having to look on the screen and flip, I can do it right here by my phone. Even with the COD satellite. I call it COD satellite, but that's College DuPage satellite. Other than that, I've got also stuff from the National Weather Service, like your special mesoscale analysis. I don't know if I've got that as far as on here, possible photographs. Let's get on there. I do. So what I do on this one is I will look at the photographs when I'm looking for tornadoes. When it gets tornado season, usually around March or April. I won't put a whole lot of that stuff on the live chat. Usually about 12 o'clock I'll start looking to see where the tornadoes are, and I will probably go live. And not to say I won't go live earlier, depending on the situation, but a lot of times in the afternoon, about 4 to 6, that's when I'm going to be live. And I will try to look at that as far as, you know, possible tornadoes. So really quick, I'm going to go ahead and get off of that part. I'm going to click Pivotal Weather back on, and kind of show you guys what I do. So if I'm looking for severe weather, I'm going to have to go to my convection allowing, and I go to my HRRR model. That HRRR model is your basically your 48-hour model. And once I do that, I go to the severe weather area, and I'm going to look for the reflectivity and the updraft helicity, and that'll take me to this screen. Of course, we don't have a whole lot going on as far as we do have some updraft helicity, but this is what I look for when I go. And if I get to just the updraft helicity, I don't see a whole lot. So there is nothing. Most of that's out in the ocean. But if you could see that real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it up. This area right here is the updraft helicity going across. So we don't have a whole lot going here on the United States, maybe a little bit right there. But if you get some of these dark or yellow and darker colors in the updraft helicity, that's that rotation going up. That's what I look at. Also on here, once I locate the updraft helicity, I am going to click on it, and I'm going to view the soundings. Okay, and this is where I can get, you won't be able to see it, but I can get the CAPE levels and the SIN levels, and see where the dew point, and if there is a cap where it's not letting the energy go up to initiate the supercell. But this is what I'll look at. It also has a photograph, but I like the one on pivotal weather. So there's the mesoscale analysis. I also get that from, I believe, the National Weather Service. I'm not quite sure. I'll be able to tell you right now. Yes, it's from the National Weather Service. Or, yeah, Prediction Center. So that's where I get my photographs and kind of pinpoint also where the tornadoes may happen. So that is my setup. I'm going to go ahead and get off. This was a look at your, look at your live scene right now. And all those little black dots are all the storm reports from yesterday that went on. Other than that, you got snow up there in Michigan. And if I get it around real quick, around Detroit, Flint area, Ann Arbor, you guys are being hit with snow. So up there in Michigan, be safe, stay in, drink some hot chocolate. I do have some family members who are probably on a snow plow detail. I'm not quite sure up there in Michigan. Other than that, you guys have a good day. I am going to stop streaming, and I've got to figure this out. Make sure this is all working, and it looks like it's got a countdown. And Facebook. I don't know why it looks like it's, oh, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I've got to go in a few places. End live video. End stream. And stop streaming.